I'm Lance Gallant, and in my unpopular opinion, Titanfall 2 is awesome. Okay, now there's people talking in the background. What is up, rockers, and welcome back to the episode of Rokz News, where today we're going to be discussing Titanfall 2. I don't even know where to start with this. Titanfall 2 was like fall of 2016's like perfect game. Titanfall 2 had everything going for it. Everything that was going into this game was positive and seemed awesome from everything that was released before the game came out. And even when the game first came out, it was like this perfect kind of entity. Now, of course, I'm probably biased because I love Titanfall 2 and I was super excited for it. You probably saw I made like a 27-minute video about the like beta for Titanfall 2, which I barely even got to play myself, but like found all of this information that I like compiled into one massive video just to like kind of inform people about how awesome Titanfall 2 was going to be. I mean, just a quick synopsis of the positives that Titanfall 2 really had going in. Tons and tons of weapons that were released. A full campaign, which was a big upgrade to Titanfall 1 because there was no campaign at all besides like the weird like multiplayer campaign. It's Titanfall. It features ground and mech combat, free DLC like every couple months that is still going out now, which includes weapons, new maps, new game modes, and all kinds of like stylistic effects as well. A huge community-based game, and I think the most important part that Titanfall 2 really had going for it was that the number of things that they took from Titanfall 1 and said, hey, we totally screwed this up, let's fix this for Titanfall 2, they did that. Titanfall 2 was Titanfall 1 revamped right and built correctly. Plus the free DLC, all of the wonderful game mechanics, the changed and like modernized gameplay made the game a golden egg of 2016 in my opinion. So with all of these positives going into Titanfall 2 and like this release and you know all of the build up that was kind of at least in my head, as well as like all of the different things that were coming together to form this almost perfect game, what the heck went wrong? Well, unfortunately, there was actually a huge series of events that basically just led to Titanfall 2's ultimate demise, even though technically, I mean, yes, it still has a community, but it's much smaller than it could be, and honestly, much smaller than it deserves. First of all, one of the biggest screw-ups for Titanfall 2 is the advertising was nowhere near where it was for Titanfall 1. Titanfall 1, the developers put so much into their advertising. They were like, alright, so we're just gonna build a life-size Titan. We're gonna bring it to all of the conventions and all of the like displays and everything. They brought it all over the country to show off how awesome Titanfall 1 was gonna be. Banners, posters, ads running everywhere. Titanfall 1 was advertised probably more than most games that are coming out on the market today. But yet Titanfall 2, it had a couple trailers, they like released some like exclusive helmets and stuff if you bought the full version of the game, but besides that, it was very limited on how much they were really throwing out, hey, check out how awesome this game is going to be. And I mean, of course, I am a huge admirer of all of the different ad trailers and stuff. I have most of them set as backgrounds on my computer because they're awesome. But unfortunately, they just did not have the advertising that they did for Titanfall 1. Also, the release date for Titanfall 2 was absolutely terrible. They ended up releasing Titanfall 2 right smack dab between Battlefield 1 and Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. Now, mind you, Infinite Warfare was not exactly getting the best reviews, but it's a Call of Duty title. People are attracted to the brand. We have Call of Duty, which is massive and it's been around forever, and you've got Battlefield. So Battlefield came out first, and they were like, oh wait, maybe we should throw out Titanfall 2 before Call of Duty comes around. That was a terrible plan, because again, you have two big ticket, big names that were coming out like within 3 weeks of each other, and then they just threw in smack dab in the middle Titanfall 2. Some people can't buy all three of those games. I'll tell you right now, I still only have Titanfall 2. I didn't buy Battlefield 1 or Call of Duty Infinite Warfare. First of all, because Infinite Warfare wasn't really going to go anywhere, but even Battlefield 1, I was really excited for that game, but when I saw Titanfall 2, I was like, that sounds pretty cool. Plus, I'm a Titanfall 2 nerd, so it works anyway. Most people were gravitating towards Battlefield 1 with some people still gravitating towards Infinite Warfare, and then there was just kind of this community shift where nobody really wanted to go for that middle game because of the next reason. Probably one of the things that turned people off to Titanfall 2 the most was the fact that they still had a bad taste in their mouth from Titanfall 1. I mean, honestly, but Titanfall 1, the community died so quickly, and that was because of, like, just, again, the lack of certain gameplay mechanics, lack of campaign. People lost interest quickly. The difference is, with Titanfall 2, they fixed all of those problems moving into the new game, but people were like, this might be too much like Titanfall 1, I'm not sure if I'm going to want this. People were like, I'm not sure if the campaign's going to be good. It's going to be like a Call of Duty campaign. It's not going to be all that in-depth. It's going to be kind of boring, whatever. People didn't really look at Titanfall 2 for what it was going to be. They didn't see the big community-based game that it was going to be. They didn't see how interesting the campaign was going to be, how in-depth and inventive the campaign was going to be, how different the multiplayer was once they added in some new aspects and they tweaked the gameplay. There was a big change going from Titanfall 1 to Titanfall 2 that people didn't pick up on, and they were like, this is going to be too much like the first game. I'm a little scared to go up and purchase this, considering also, again, $60 price. I mean, Titanfall 2's release was actually decent. There was a decent number of purchases initially, but it wasn't lasting. Upon its release date, or, within like a week, there was about 4 to 6 million copies sold, which is pretty low considering that that's actually less than a third of the amount of copies of Battlefield 1 that was sold, which was about 15 million in the first week. But even though upon release it didn't have that great of a sale rating, it didn't get much better. Actually, their sales dropped off pretty quickly. Within about 2 months, Titanfall 2 actually brought the price down to, I think, maybe $39.99 or $49.99, just because people weren't buying the game enough, which is insane. Again, with the quality of game that you were getting, it was really unfortunate that people were not thinking about, hey, I want to buy this. Again, because of the release date, because of the off-put setting that kind of came from Titanfall 1, and the lack of advertising. People weren't as interested because people weren't getting it thrown in their face saying, hey, check out how cool this is. So between all of these things, honestly, in my opinion, it wasn't the game's fault that it wasn't getting sold. I think ultimately it was a failure on the developers' part because the developers didn't push the game. They didn't say, hey, here's some advertising. They didn't push anything other than, hey, we're giving free DLC to a game that you don't yet own. Again, the game was great, but the developers miscalculated on the release date. They miscalculated on a bunch of other things, and honestly, I think overall it was the developers that failed the game as opposed to the game failing itself. The community on Xbox and PlayStation is definitely a lot bigger than it is on PC. But as a guy who plays on PC, and when I get online, there's only 3,000 to 5,000 people playing. It's like, well, what happens now? Where's the PC community at, boys? Come on. I'm disappointed in you. Anyway, that's my Titanfall rant. Please go out and buy Titanfall for PC so I can play with you. That would be great. Because again, I'd love to play Titanfall 2 on PC with people, but just people don't play it. And it's annoying. So anyway, regardless, if you guys enjoyed this video, please drop a like down below. Comment if you got crap to tell me about how bad Titanfall 2 is, because I know somebody's going to do it. And of course, subscribe to check out some more videos. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out. If you guys enjoyed this video, then you should totally check out these two videos right here. They're similar, I think you'll also enjoy them. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Peace out.
It's not funny! It's not funny! I just killed myself.